Her voice slipped out like she was asking for the salt. As casual as that, your brother and his kids will move in with you next month. You have the space. My fork hovered halfway in my mouth. My brother smiled as if it were already settled. His wife whispered something, smirking like she'd just won. I chewed the cold meat in silence and nodded. I didn't argue. Not that night. I let their decision hang in the air, unchallenged. There was a time my brother and I were close. He was a golden one, charming, reckless, beloved. I was a quiet one who worked, saved, and built. My parents excused his faults as personality. They labeled my silence as attitude. When I finally bought my house, it was the first thing that belonged only to me. I'd worked double shifts, skipped vacations, stayed home while others went out. When I got the keys, I thought maybe now they'd notice me. They didn't. When my brother divorced last year, I helped, gave him money, paid part of his rent, bought his kids' school supplies. I told myself it was family. He told everyone else it was his idea. That's when I began to see the pattern. My family assuming I'd quietly fix their problems without question. One Wednesday, I arrived early and overheard them in the kitchen, my mother and brother, unaware I was there. She won't say no, my mother said. She never does. My brother laughed. Yeah, she owes us. After all, who else does she have? Those words cut. Not a question, an accusation, a weapon. Who else does she have? I walked away before they turned and drove home to sit in my driveway with the porch light flickering above. I realized I was their safety net, their easy fix, their silent servant. Something inside shifted that night. It wasn't fury. It was calculation. I stopped answering calls right away, let texts sit for hours, and started researching housing prices, legal avenues, and buyers. The market was favorable. My neighborhood was rising in value. By the time my family announced their moving plans to friends, I was already negotiating the sale. No one knew, not co-workers, not my parents, not even my lawyer. I asked the buyers for a quiet closing. No signs, no announcements. The money landed in my account 3 weeks later. I moved into a furnished downtown apartment on a short-term lease under another name. I redirected my mail to a P.O. box. Every action deliberate, every step invisible. Then I waited. 2 days before they were due to move in, my mother called. We're packing up your brother's things. He's excited. The kids are too. I told him you'd painted the rooms already. I smiled. Yeah, the house looks different now. And it did. Empty. Sold. Gone. The next morning they pulled up in a rented truck. I watched from across the street with a coffee, leaning against my car. The for sale sign was gone. It had been replaced by a sold sticker 2 weeks earlier. My brother got out first, bewildered, then my mother, then the kids. They tried the key. It didn't work. He called me. I let it ring twice before answering. What the hell? The lock's changed, he shouted. Yeah, I said calmly. It's not my house anymore. What do you mean it's not your... What the underscore are you talking about? I sold it. Silence, then chaos. His voice breaking, my mother yelling in the background, the kids asking what was wrong. I kept my tone soft. You said I'd never say no. I reminded them. So I didn't. I simply said nothing. They came to my apartment that evening, angry, humiliated. I opened the door and let them in. My brother's face was flushed, his hands trembling. You sold it just to spite us? He demanded. No, I said. I sold it because it was mine to sell. My mother tried guilt. Your brother is struggling. Think of the children. They're his children. I cut in. His responsibility, not mine. Her lips trembled, but I wasn't moved. You always thought I'd bend, I continued, because I kept the peace, because I stayed quiet. But quiet doesn't mean weak. It means I wait until the noise consumes itself. I handed my brother a printed sheet with a rental agency's number and listings near their old place. Try this, I said. They might help. He stared at me like I'd stabbed him. Maybe I had, only not with a knife. A week later, my mother called again, this time softer, asking, Are you happy now? Her voice was small. I'm free, I replied. She made no reply, only breathed into phone for a few seconds before hanging up. I stood by the window of my new place as city lights reflected on the glass. No family photos, no memories on the walls, just silence. A peaceful, hard-won silence. For the first time in years, I didn't feel guilty for protecting what was mine. People think revenge is loud and explosive, but mine was quiet, legal, clean. I didn't scream or fight or beg them to see my worth. I removed the ground they stood on. Ground